This is the Elemental RP1, a track-focused road car with big power, lightweight and a sequential gearbox. And this is me, a sucker for punishment who's agreed to drive this thing 500 miles to find out how good a track-focused road car with big power, lightweight and a sequential gearbox is like to live with. This is day one. We're in Winchester. Yeah. This is the Elemental factory. Windscreen is going to be attached in a second as well, and some nice leather seats. Is that right?
The windscreen's coming in a couple of months' time.
Brilliant.
So a little bit late for this trip.
Cool. And the hard top, is that just
the hard top? That would make it a different car.
We're heading to Le Mans via Reims today, so we're going to go see the old Formula 1 circuit.
You look nervous.
I think I'm just hungry.
What's the 0-60, Alex?
At the minute it's just under 2.7, but we're aiming for quicker.
2-litre EcoBoost with 330 brake horsepower. I think, yeah, space is going to be, if you're just going to have to leave your rucksack here. Oh, look at that, like a glove. And someone's Coke can just rest on the oil cooler there. Let's start her up. So I must stress that this is the first time that I've ever driven a car with a sequential gearbox. So you've got to put your foot in on the clutch, engage the gear, have the revs about 1500 RPM and then pull away. Oh, the boss is here, I'm nervous. Oh, bloody hell. I c***ed it up in front of the boss. No! Yeah! So I don't know how well you can hear me, but we are, I think, on the A29 heading towards Dover. We're driving the Elemental on the dual carriageways. I'm having fun, driving super slowly, just trying to hustle everything out of the way. Come on! Once in the groove of driving the RP1, the Channel Tunnel was signposted, meaning we'd soon be on the big train to take us under the sea and into Calais. So as you can see, we are now on the Eurotunnel, and I am with my new best friend, my new engineering best friend, Nolan. So Nolan knows a lot about this car. You're doing the electronics for this, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I complained. Well, I didn't really complain. I just said I would like a bit more throttle response.
You're pretty whiny.
I am pretty whiny. You know me so well.
It didn't take long.
Anyway, Nolan got out a laptop, and then now it's better.
We'll see how it is. It should be better. And we changed the pedal sensitivity, so hopefully when you get on it just a little bit, you'll get a little bit more grunt.
This is interesting, because Alex told me that you can quite easily change it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. And it would take you, what, 45 minutes? As long as you had all the servos and stuff swapped over before.
Realistically, it takes about an hour or so. We were going to do it in the tunnel, but we decided it was possibly not allowed.
I think that people who work on the tunnel would probably think, what are you doing? Please get off my train. Before doing some proper mileage under a blazing sun that was intent on turning me into a crisp, we stopped off for a traditional French bottle of chocolate milk. So it is customary when one is in France to drink France's best ever thing ever, which is Candy Up. Cheers to Candy Up.
Santé.
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 As long as you're patient, have a helmet, don't care about music or talking to your passenger, it can be used as a daily. It's also darty in traffic and good at changing lanes, meaning you can negotiate lots of cars like you were running through it with your own turbocharged legs. If you have a nice day, it's a fun way to travel. If it was raining, I'd probably be a little bit miserable by now. Probably because I don't want to know what it'll feel like to lose control of my bladder with every downpour. After hours of wind noise, sequential gearbox whine and a visor full of dead flies, we'd arrived at France's unofficial capital of the Champagne wine-growing region, Reims, or Reims as the English like to pronounce it. Specifically, we'd come to visit the former Grand Prix motor racing road course that spanned from 1926 to 1966, with a few years of inactivity in between. So here we are, we've made it to Reims, the old Formula 1 track in France. After about 5 hours of driving the Elemental RP1, it's nice to have a bit of a break.
soak up some proper history. If you find yourself in France or if you're on the way to Le Mans, you have to come here. You have to take some really cool pictures because this place is steeped in history, and it's just nice to know that many, many, many years ago, this was a live race circuit. The fact that this still stands is absolutely amazing.
After the historic abandoned beauty of Reims, I slip back into my carbon fibre racing seat for the final 45-minute drive to our overnight stay in Épernay for food, a much-needed shower and respite from the sun. It is now day 2 of our trip in the Elemental RP1 en route to Le Mans, and I found quite a big negative with this car, being that it doesn't have a roof. Doesn't have a windscreen. It means that you sit in the car, sun is shining, the wind is blowing, and you feel really nice and cool and refreshed. But then when you get out the car, you think, oh, something hurts. Oh, the sun's quite hot today. And then, pow! You have epic tan lines. Oh, this isn't a tan line, it's a burn line, right? After bravely rescuing a chicken, we headed for the town of Épernay to sample the RP1 city driving merits.
So to prove just how easy a car like an Elemental RP1 is like to live with, I am in the little French town of Épernay, just going for a little jaunt in the morning. Our forward visibility is absolutely amazing, rear visibility not so much, and also one thing that I will say is, because there's no roof, and when it gets really hot, the carbon seats get extremely, extremely hot. So when you sit down for the first time, your ass just completely fries. Oh, I've just stalled it. Getting used to the clutch takes some time. I'm getting there. Bear with me. I mean, the flywheel weighs probably about as much as my little finger. We've obviously got a racing clutch on here, so it's pretty much all or nothing. Sitting so low in town is not ideal because you can't really see what's ahead. Cobbled straights. The suspension is set to pretty firm. But even so, even though I'm just sitting in carbon buckets, the ride is actually decent. Don't have any steering assistance, obviously, because this car only weighs about 630 kilograms with liquids. There is a good thing about not having a windscreen, is that you just get all the air going to your face and to your body. Feels nice. Feels very good. After you, sir. He doesn't care, does he? He's seen this all the time. The turning circle on this is also very good. Almost like a London taxi, except not quite. Bonjour! Ladies love it. Oh, look. Oh, I was just about to say, look at me getting the clutch perfect, but no, not quite. This is a nice way to sightsee. This is better than one of those double-decker red buses. We'll gloss over the bit that we just bottomed out slightly. Oh, it's so quick. Let's put it to track mode, shall we? Yeah, track map. Yeah, I think if you can drive this car in town with a clutch, you can drive any car in the world, period. If you haven't driven anything like this and you want to steal it, then you'll stall your way all the way to the police station. Another thing I wanted to bring up is, if you run out of petrol, which I was about to, it doesn't matter because you can just push the car to the nearest petrol station. It weighs 630 kilograms.
With town driving now well and truly tried and tested, it was time to see how the Elemental would handle some faster dirt roads. Just because.
Now obviously a daily driver needs to drive daily on bumpy country roads. So I've taken the Elemental RP1 to some very nice vineyards. Despite this car being super low, I've only bottomed out once. Whoa! Quite nice and slidey because the tyres are very cold. You've got a nice big wooden plank underneath, so if you tear that, just replace it. It's fine, it's only wood. Wood doesn't cost a lot. There is so much power, so much torque to launch you out of every single corner. And this is a car that I wouldn't normally take on a road like this because, Jesus, it's bumpy. This is more kind of aerial nomad territory. I would have thought that all this stuff, it would completely destroy the car. But this is hilarious. Oh, Jesus. Come on, gearbox. Reverse, neutral. We're not finding first at the moment. There we go, found it. That's happened a couple of times where it's taken a little while for first gear to engage. So I'm in normal road 1. If we put it in to road 2, the throttle response is a bit sharper. And then track means that there is even less traction control. So if you get it wrong, oh dear, you've made an expensive mistake. Oh God, this is so good. Imagine this with a raised ride height and off-road tyres like the Nomad. Sequential gearboxes are amazing, and to be driving it on the road is quite special.
With the French vineyards now covered in dust kicked up from the RP1's wheels, our final leg to Le Mans lay ahead, including more B-road thrashes and long motorway stints under the sun.
So we have finally arrived at Le Mans. Now Elemental says that this is the ultimate road legal track car. And after 500 miles and 2 days of solid driving, I have to agree. Although my back does feel like it's turned into cheese. So anyway, to answer the question, can you live with a car like this? I think I'd have to say, hell yeah! Now where's my beer?